Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Madmen show. I am your host, Alec Ryer, here with Brendan Ionair this week.
Brendan?
Oh, how's it going? I had my
Brendan is
other way
here. He
around.
is here.
I
And
flipped
as
it
you
the
guys
other
hear,
way.
as you guys hear, Brady Mashed Potatoes Wells is also here with us
Hi.
this week, back from his trip from Chicago.
I'm back. I
How was it,
made it.
Brady?
I survived the loss, alcohol, and it was good.
And yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough game for the Bears at home too, and they got.
Well, being in the stadium was amazing.
Oh, I bet Soldier Field's a iconic NFL stadium.
It was all. It's actually really, really cool.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get into the show, but before we do, make sure to follow us on Twitter at MadmenFF. Subscribe to our YouTube channel FFMadmen. Like our page on Facebook, and our giveaway is still going on. So make sure you guys get in on that. The information is on our Twitter and on our Facebook. So go check those out for your chance to win a NFL mini helmet of your choice. And don't forget to support the show. I don't know about you guys, but I want my parents to be proud of me. So if you guys want to help me in that kind of, help with that, support the show. There's a link down below in the stream that you guys can donate to the show, and everything goes towards making the show better for you guys. But let's just get right into it. We got some news. We got some early injury news, and some trades went down this week, guys. Interesting trades. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest news is Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson has hit IR.
That's tough.
He wants
Yeah,
to
that sucks.
Yeah, he wants to return though.
Yeah, I saw that.
But-
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, when you get put on IR, you can't return until he can't return until week 16,
Yeah,
which is the championship game. So
They could be there.
Kerryon Johnson no longer matters essentially for fantasy.
Yeah. Redraft leagues, are you dropping Kerryon Johnson while you're saying that?
Oh yeah. You have to. He will rot on your bench. I mean, if you have an IR spot, you can keep him for maybe you have to make the championship for him to be relevant.
Pretty much.
And he still might not play that game.
Yeah. That's the biggest injury news. Honestly, there wasn't a lot of injuries coming out of week 7, but injuries for tomorrow night's game in Minnesota against the Redskins. Adam Thielen has been ruled out today. He did not practice. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. He left last week early
After catching the touchdown.
after catching his only touchdown. So if you played him in fantasy, you got the touchdown out of him, which was nice. But
I think he still had a decent week even before.
he had 2 catches. He played on 12% of snaps.
Oh, is that it? I thought it was a little bit later in the game when that happened. But
yeah, he was replaced by
I was going back and forth.
Olabisi Johnson. He took 71% of the snaps, had 8 targets.
He scored.
And a touchdown. Wow. Yeah, he did score. So
Thielen still got you 9.5, so you weren't like crying.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like if you started Thielen, you at least got the 9 points. Not what you're hoping.
Yeah, heaven forbid Thielen gets you 9 points on an injury week.
Yeah, he takes 12% of the whole game snaps, and he gets you 9
At
points.
least the man goes out with a touchdown.
It's
right
great
away.
efficiency. Chris Thompson and Vernon Davis both still out for the Redskins. I feel like this could be another blowout game.
The Redskins, they suck.
The Redskins and the Vikings are going at it tomorrow.
It's a Dalvin Cook game.
It is.
It's a
Dalvin Cook.
We'll talk
game.
more about it when we get there, but
yeah, we'll do matchups on Saturday, and we'll.
It is a Dalvin Cook.
Oh no,
game.
we'll talk about it today. I forget it's the Thursday game. Duh.
Yep.
But we talked about trades. There was a few interesting trades that went down. Emmanuel Sanders getting traded to the 49ers for a 3rd and 4th round pick next year.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Honestly, I almost want to say it kind of hurts his fantasy value.
See,
in a weird way. It's like I feel like it's even across the board, but at the same time, I feel like it could hurt just because of how heavy of a run offense the 49ers have been.
Yeah.
And now that team's playing good and ahead in their games. They're not throwing the ball as much as it is, whereas the Broncos were behind almost in every game, so they're throwing the ball all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he was seeing a crazy amount of targets from Joe Flacco. Like I think it's like clears up like 4 targets, 5 targets a game or something like that on average. 60 yards total. I mean, that's gonna go towards Cortland Sutton now, but if the Niners, I mean, but he could be useful because I think is Dante Pettis still hurt? If I'm not mistaken.
No, he's not.
I don't think
He's
he's
not hurt
hurt.
anymore.
Other people are.
Yeah,
Debo was.
Debo's out.
Debo's hurt, and
Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin is hurt. So I mean, he's the number 2 guy right there. So
He's the number 1
I mean,
receiver.
yeah, he's the better receiver. But I mean, right now in this first week,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what we're gonna see out of him, but
And he's
like
going
I
up
said,
against a
he's
tough Carolina defense.
exactly like so. I don't know how I feel about it overall. I think I'm gonna have to play and wait and see how he does to really see his value, whether it increased or declined.
Yeah. It could just be more of the same.
Exactly.
I mean,
Just a
I feel like
different
it's
team.
worth the depth for the 49ers. I mean, they're an
Oh,
undefeated
100%.
team.
I think it's a good trade.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Well,
I think they needed a receiver and they got one.
He went from the Broncos, who aren't going to compete for anything this year, to the Niners, who some have in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's quite
It's
nice.
like it's like the next trade that's coming up too. You went in for a McDonald's fries and you came out with a Super Bowl ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both of the undefeated teams made moves, and that's the Patriots acquiring Mohamed Sanu
Yes.
from the Falcons for a second-round pick.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be late, but it's still a second-round pick. Way more than I thought you would get for Mohamed Sanu in any league, fantasy or the no fun league. But Sanu, the Sanu trade makes a little bit more sense because they put Josh Gordon on IR.
That's the only reason
Yes.
why I feel like he's gonna still be super fantasy viable.
I think
He'll
Sanu is
be
definitely
one of the 3.
is a fantasy relevant player, and N'Keal Harry is eligible to play this week. So
Yes.
their first round pick from the last draft.
I don't think we're gonna see anything out of N'Keal Harry for a little while. So
No, Jacoby Myers is better,
yeah,
and they proved that, and he showed that in the preseason. Going into the preseason, maybe not the preseason, but going into the preseason, the talks where Jacoby was better than N'Keal.
Which is crazy because Jacoby Myers was an undrafted player and
Yeah.
N'Keal Harry was the 30th overall pick.
But their top 3 receivers now, in theory, are Edelman, Sanu, and Dorsett.
Yeah.
And they'll be their 3 wide receiver sets going forward, I would think.
There's a lot of mouths to feed in New England. You can't forget James White, big in the receiving game. Brady loves throwing to James White.
No, I don't.
No, you just like mashed potatoes.
That's true.
All right. What?
Oh, I was going to say, and kind of the other thing about trades now is there's so many rumors.
There
Like-
are.
yes, there are a lot.
Mudding around.
There's some crazy ones. There was a lot of names I wasn't expecting to see on this list of. There's one surprise, I guess, maybe 2. But we'll start with the big one. I think the Lions, now that Carry-On's out, they have some interest in Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fantastic fit for a season.
Wouldn't? Melvin Gordon's bad.
Yeah, well,
maybe he's playing bad just because.
It would help my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah, he might not get paid as much as he wants in free
Not if
agency
he's playing like that.
If he keeps playing
Not
the
if
way
you
he's
fumble on
playing.
the half-yard line in a game-winning situation.
Yeah. But I feel like the Chargers should move him. I mean, they're not in a.
Yeah, they need to move him.
They're not in a playoff mode. They need to. I mean, the running back by committee seemed to have worked. Their offense looked really good. Their defense just needed to be better.
Their offense still kind of struggled. It wasn't coming from the running back position, though.
No, but I mean, even with Gordon out, you saw guys like Keenan Allen producing, and now you have Hunter Henry producing really well. That offense is good. It's that defense that's very so-so. I mean, it's like one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, and I know Brady's happy about that coming in this week.
I'm not happy about anything right now regarding the Chicago Bears.
That's true. Well, maybe. I mean.
Maybe I will be happy.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
For now, no.
We'll see. But another NFC North team looking to make some moves. The Packers are looking to bolster their passing attack They're targeting weapons such as Devontae Parker, O.J. Howard, and this is the one surprise for me, and that was Austin Hooper of the Falcons.
I'd well try.
You mean the number 1 pass catcher / wide receiver for the Falcons? Austin Hooper? That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'd go for him too.
The Falcons are probably selling
Dude, they're probably
everybody
selling, I
but
would sell everybody but Freeman.
Ryan
See,
and
I'd sell
Julio
Freeman.
Jones. No, they're not selling Jones because they just re-signed him.
No, those are the only two I would hold on to.
Yeah, well, and Ridley. They'll keep Ridley.
Oh, yeah, and Ridley.
But,
they moved
Hooper,
Sanu, so...
Hooper and Freeman are definitely... Yeah, and they already moved Sanu.
I think
definitely
fair
shoppable.
Game. The Patriots also inquired for O.J. Howard, but the Buccaneers told them no. That would be so scary.
Wouldn't that be so much
that
better
would
for
be
O.J. Howard?
So scary.
Imagine.
Holy cow. I mean, O.J. Howard is a Gronk-sized player. Not saying he's as good as a Gronk, but...
Wait, you mean he's actually going to catch the ball?
Yeah, they might throw to him.
Yeah, they might actually throw to him. I think Howard only has 18 targets so far this year.
And he has one of the most routes run for tight ends.
And his snap percentage is off the charts. Yeah, 18 targets, 13 receptions for 176 yards.
It's ridiculous.
That's nuts for that offense, for how well that offense has looked. But Brendan, your favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, are in a lot of trade rumors everywhere, offense and defense, mostly targeting cornerbacks, and for a reason. We'll get into that game a little later, but they're getting torched.
Sunday night's game.
Yeah, they've been getting torched through the air, but they're also targeting Robbie Anderson. Brady, that's one of your guys.
No, I want him to stay on the Jets.
See, I think it'd be good for Robbie Anderson because now he has.
But their Jet schedule's so good, and he's the only guy they're gonna throw to besides Love Bell. Actually, that's not true.
I think Jamison Crowder's getting targets. Demaryius Thomas had another 9-target game on Monday.
I know.
The targets are getting spread around.
I want him to keep his Jet schedule. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting schedule.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if anything gets done. I don't think any of these trades will happen. I don't think.
I bet Chris Harris moves.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Harris moves.
And
Patrick Peterson, the Arizona Cardinals, came out and said they're not trading him. Which doesn't make any sense. He's played 3 games this year. He wants out. You could get a first-round pick for him easily.
Yeah, maybe. And then I think Kenyon Drake moves.
Yeah, so I was going to get into some good fantasy fits for these 3 guys. I want to get y'all's take on it. We'll start with Kenyon Drake. What are some teams that would be some good fits? Would be a good fit for a guy like Kenyon Drake?
Detroit.
Yep.
So Kenyon Drake, let me tell you his career stats. He's averaged just over 4.5 yards a carry for his career. Wow. He's actually a pretty good running back. He's just in a terrible offense.
Detroit.
I'm basing this off his career stats, Brendan, not based off your biased opinion of the Miami Dolphins. So
I could see someone like Jacksonville maybe trying just because they're running the wheels off of Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, he has been getting a lot of carries. He's currently running back 7, and he has 1 touchdown, which is incredible.
Arizona.
Would it be bad for us to say that a good fit for any of these players is the Patriots because they seem to inquire on every single person possible?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, they don't need any more running backs.
It says you.
Since I have every one
of them. They just got another wide receiver.
Oh, they also just put one on IR.
I have another wide receiver.
Already got $1 million.
Who has a better passer rating than Tom Brady?
Okay, so another question: Where would you want to see a guy like Kenyon Drake go? Would it just be Detroit?
I don't see him playing anywhere besides Detroit, having any value.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where he would go really.
Okay, what about a guy like Devonta Freeman, who's a much better running back in my opinion?
It's weird. Everybody seems to have good, solid running backs.
See, I think Freeman would do good in Houston.
Yeah,
much better. He's much more of an upgrade to Carlos Hyde.
I could see that.
Houston would be bad.
It would be cool to see someone like Freeman.
Tampa Bay could use
hard
every
to
down back.
Tampa trading for a
Yeah, it'd be interesting since they have Barber and
It'd be interesting to
Jones.
see someone like Drake or Freeman go to like even go to the Chiefs. Like that'd be
See,
such a
that's
cool
what I was
Yeah,
trade.
thinking.
I thought that too.
That'd be
Like,
such a cool trade because
because
Damon
Damon
Williams
everybody
is
else,
not
Williams,
getting it done.
he's not.
McCoy's on a
They're
1-year contract.
yeah,
exactly like they're just okay, and I feel like they could if that's a place that they need an offensive wise, that's their upgrade spot.
yeah.
And I definitely think that they could probably buy low on some people and get a way better deal out of it than what they're getting right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, if Washington was any decent, I could see them as well. But they're not, so
Yeah.
oh, dude, they have Darius Geis. Duh.
and
He's
Bryce
played
Love.
so many fantasy
Yeah, I'm
games.
pretty sure Bryce Love's on season-ending IR. They did that when they drafted him. So,
Why don't they draft healthy running backs?
It
Bryce
blows
Love's
my
good in
mind.
college, man. If you watched him at Stanford,
I
he was
know he's
insane.
very good, but they keep the
You
past
know,
two
you know
running
who else
backs
was
they've
insane when they
drafted.
were at Stanford and is still playing and never gets hurt?
Christian McCaffrey,
Oh yeah, that guy.
the human Hulk. All right, what about a
That-
guy like AJ Green? I want to talk about AJ Green, the wide receiver out of Cincinnati.
Saints, Raiders,
I think the
The
Saints would be a
Raiders would
great
be a
fit.
cool one.
Seahawks. A lot of teams need receivers. They have like one guy instead of like two. I liked Indy. I know Chris. We were talking about it, and Chris said Indianapolis.
Indianapolis would be a decent fit for AJ Green. He's going to be a free agent next year.
Dude, imagine having not only one injury-prone player, but two. Gosh, T.Y. Hilton with
You could
him
see
and
the
AJ Green, bro, that'd be insane.
you could
Their
see the
bench would be
Packers doing it as
stacked.
well. Their bench, their training room would be stacked.
Yeah, right.
I
Best
would-
training group in the league.
You could see the Packers too.
Yeah,
It's like-
Packers going after AJ Green because they're
Yeah.
looking to, and it would be cheap. It'd be cheap.
Dude, AJ Green and Devontae Adams, that'd be pretty nuts.
I'd be nuts
both
with Aaron
both
Rodgers.
That-
in the
that-
training room. Yeah,
Yeah, also, but like
nursing foot injuries.
both of them playing though, that'd be pretty nutty.
Yeah, they're both.
Does AJ Green still have feet?
Does he play football still? At
I
this
don't know.
point,
Recent reports. I can look at him on NFL. No, NFL says he doesn't have feet.
dude, I mean, I could go on the field and say I was hurt and just get a contract for years.
You're probably
get
way
paid
fast.
millions
You're
of
probably a
dollars,
bit faster than AJ Green now.
right? Just 'cause he's so hurt.
Just because he's not running.
Have we seen AJ Green running at practice yet?
No,
don't know.
but I'm pretty sure Hunter Henry was running at practice again this week. So that
Oh
was-
yeah.
yeah. All right, guys. So that's it for the NFL trades and rumors going around the league. Trade deadline is this week. I think, isn't it? Is it
It's
Tuesday?
very soon.
Tuesday
look
after
it
the
up.
games. We'll get a double check on that. But we're gonna get into our Week 7 rewind. Week 7 rewind. We're gonna start with the Thursday night game, Chiefs and Broncos. We kind of talked about this on Saturday night. We know Patrick Mahomes, or Saturday afternoon. We know Patrick Mahomes left early in the second quarter with his knee injury, and is likely to miss 3 weeks. I could see this being more than 3 weeks, just because their bye week is.
Who's at practice today though?
Sure he was at practice. Reporters were at practice.
I
Come on.
Yeah.
don't know.
probably-
He
he's probably
wants it to
questionable
only
to
be
return.
2 weeks, and I don't know. They're not going to rush him back, but he is really trying to get back.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
bet
he's the
ESPN
leader
has
of
him
that
as
team.
questionable.
Yeah.
Anyways, Matt Moore is going to take over the offense. A guy that in August was gearing up for his high school coaching season.
That's right.
I saw that and I was like, that's insane. The guy's played in the NFL for what, almost 10 years, and he hadn't had a job in over a year and a half, and he was a assistant coach at his high school in Southern California. And Andy Reid called him up and said, "Hey, you want to back up Patrick Mahomes?" And he said, "Yeah."
Well, it was supposed to be Chad Henne, right?
I think
what
so.
happened to him? Is he hurt?
He got hurt. Yes, he got hurt.
He hasn't been relevant
Chad
since he was at
Henne.
Michigan.
I know. I remember him.
He was good at Michigan.
Yes, he was.
Anyways, the note from this game is the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah, they had to step up, and they did. Which
Yeah,
is
9 sacks.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
The Broncos could not keep Flacco upright, and it was like quick too. Like he had no time to throw the ball. It's like
Yeah.
it was worse than Baker.
Yeah.
Worse
Well, I
than
think
Baker.
it was more of a. We've said that the Kansas City's pass defense. Their pass rush is pretty decent. It's the only thing recognizable.
Yeah, I think Christian
And
Jones was back for this one.
yeah, and the Broncos' offensive line is abysmal. So, yikes.
Yeah.
That's
You want
pretty
to
much
hear?
what
You want to
happened.
hear a crazy stat?
Hit me with it.
Sure.
So over the 7 games that the people, 7 weeks this year, Brissett has been sacked a total of 7 times over all 7 games this year, and Flacco
Goodness.
got sacked 9 times in one game.
That's what happens when you invest in your offensive line.
Or
That's
don't.
incredible.
Or don't, yeah. But I mean, I'm
And I don't
saying-
even know. I don't even know if that's like the person
was
who's been sacked the least, but he's up there. I know for a fact for being like one of the least sacked players right now, quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
be
know
surprised if it was Brissett.
Jacksonville had a 9-sack game as well, and I
They
think
did.
Tampa has.
Well, they
No,
had the one player with
they
like
had the
what?
one player with a nutty amount,
With
like almost.
8?
He had 9 a few weeks ago.
Yeah. He didn't he have like he had didn't he have 8 in a game?
I don't
Or
know.
something
no,
crazy
no.
like that?
No. I think Jacksonville. No.
Something.
He had like 4 or 5 in a game though.
Something
It might
crazy
have been
number.
It was not 8.
Yeah.
some crazy number. Anyways, on to the Broncos. We know they traded Emmanuel Sanders, so now it is all Cortland Sutton.
Yay!
But we can't forget about Deshaun Hamilton.
Yay!
He's going to look to get some
He's wide
targets.
receiver 2 there, officially.
Yeah,
You know,
it'd be interesting.
with
Well, who
Sanders
else is-
gone, it frees up, like I said, about 40. I'm not 40. Like 4 to 5 targets a game, and about like a total like 60 yards is what you've been seeing out of Emmanuel Sanders, like on average. Honestly, I don't know how many. I don't know if I would guarantee those going towards Sutton. I almost would say
No.
most of those are going to go towards Hamilton now.
Yeah, Hamilton will get some. I'm interested about Noah Fant as well if he starts getting more and more involved because they kind of they tried to throw him the ball a bit, but he
I mean, this
scored.
just basically secures Sutton's spot, obviously, like, as the number one. Like, he took
Yeah.
over that role, and he's there now. But I almost think that those targets that are going towards Sanders are going to be spread out more towards Hamilton and Noah Fant, guys like that, than you're going to see going more towards Sutton. I think Sutton stays about what he's going to be at on average.
Yeah, which I mean he's at wide
Which
receiver
still,
12
yeah.
or 11. He might have hopped to 11 after this week,
I have
which
it
is
pulled up right here. So we're talking about Cortland Sutton, running back, wide receiver 11. Yeah.
yeah, he hopped to 11. So I think you're just going to see Sutton's not going to fall off. I wouldn't think. I mean, he might draw some better coverage, but I think he was already starting to a little bit anyway, and
Mhm.
he's done really well. And then Hamilton's going to get the biggest bump out of all the players because he's been upgraded from wide receiver 3 to wide receiver 2. And I think he should be rostered fantasy wise right now. I have him. I picked him up in not both leagues. I picked him up in our redraft league.
Yeah, you
So-
picked up Tim Patrick in our dynasty league.
Yeah, he's on IR, so you get a free IR spot.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I didn't.
you get 2 free IR spots.
Yeah, that's
I
why
know,
I
but
did.
then you spend money on it too.
Well, yeah,
as much,
I thought someone would be paying attention. That was
and
mentioned.
we're still talking about, even though this is like completely way into the future, us still talking about the Broncos. I'm excited to see Drew Lock come back next year.
Please, because
And
Joe
just-
Flacco's.
I'm excited to see what he has the potential to do for that team.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't know.
Looking at it too, like Sutton's young, Hamilton's young, Tim Patrick's young, Phillip and Royce Freeman are both on their second years. Like they have a really young offense, and their weapons. Every single one of the players I've mentioned has had really strong games and shown that they're really, really talented. So hopefully, with Drew Lock and a better offensive line, this offense can actually move the ball a little bit.
Yeah,
But for now,
it'll
we're
be exciting.
stuck with. Blah.
Yeah, exactly. Blah.
But yeah, Sutton, Hamilton are fantasy relevant. Freeman and Lindsey are still going to be fantasy relevant, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, it's interesting, Brendan. You talk about Drew Lock. I've seen a lot of really early mock drafts for the 2020 draft, and a
Yeah.
lot of them have the Broncos taking a quarterback in the first round.
Really?
Yeah, particularly Justin Herbert at Oregon.
At Oregon, yeah.
So it'll be interesting
All
to
right.
see what they do. But we're gonna get on to
I
the
know.
next game, Raiders at Packers. Before we do, I want to give a quick shout out to Karen. She got a big win this week against me in Funhouse League. My first loss in Funhouse League after her perfect week, backed up by the Packers quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Guy had
Oh,
429 yards and 5 touchdowns in the air, and he ran for a touchdown. He was the quarterback one, as you guys see on screen, 43.8 points. Holy cow. You couldn't have a better day.
that was a lot.
I mean,
And you know what's so crazy is like when you watched it, the first half, like that's not what you thought. Like you did not think that it was such a over
big
like
game.
you didn't think it was the Packers absolutely just destroying their like that is not what the first half was like whatsoever. So it's so funny that this is how it ended up with him with 429 yards, 5 touchdowns, with the 1 rushing touchdown. It's like it's not how it looked at all because it looked pretty even.
yeah, you can say that about a lot of these games from this past week. The first half looked like they were going to be close, and then a lot of them just fantasy blow up. Like there was a few games
I know one.
that happened in. I mean, even Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who
He only caught. Yeah.
He only had 2 catches, but he had 133 yards and
3 targets.
Yeah, and a touchdown.
Yeah, right.
They were supposed to be unlikely to play.
I know him and Geronimo.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought that with them not playing, I was like, oh, Raiders, they got this.
Mm-hmm.
And then them playing, I mean, granted, it's not like they both did. You know what I mean? It's like he had 2 catches, 3 targets, but it was 100 for 133 yards and a touchdown. Like, good lord.
Yeah, I mean, even Jimmy Graham caught a touchdown, so it's
yeah.
Well, he threw for 5.
Yeah, I mean, and there were some, and other than outside of I guess the pass catchers for the Raiders, which was their tight end once again.
Hey, he got his first 2 touchdowns of his career this week.
He had a freaking amazing game though.
Yeah.
Of the passes, of the catches that he had, I mean, they were all big plays. He got yards. He was running like it was beautiful. Like it was.
I heard. I didn't watch the game. I heard he had another one called back. He should have had 3.
I didn't think he got called back. I thought he got down at like the 1.
No, I heard there was one and there was a penalty. He got called back.
Because he got the 1 or he got down at the 1, and that's when Derek Carr went out to the side and fumbled it for the touchback. Because he got down on the 1 and they didn't run it with Jacobs, and then Derek Carr went out for it and basically just like flopped it into the end zone for the touchback. But
thanks, Derek Carr.
Yeah, right. But anyways, yeah, thank you for Josh Jacobs not getting anything. But still, though, Josh Jacobs, I mean, 21 carries, 124 yards, 3 catches. I mean, yeah, he didn't get a touchdown, but he still had a fantastic week.
Yeah.
I mean, the first play, he broke out for like 40-yard run, and we knew that was coming with the Packers, with their rush defenses. Yeah.
So the two Raiders you basically have on your roster that played that game, Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs both had good days, so you're happy with that.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably didn't start anybody else.
And
the Packers,
maybe
the
you had Derek
Packers.
Carr, but
yeah,
and you were probably still happy with the 2 touchdowns. So
still happy with 15. Packers wise, Aaron Jones, you're starting every week, 18.3.
What if Jamal Williams?
Jamal Williams, he still had like 14 points or something like that.
13.1.
Yeah, another touchdown.
That's crazy.
So
honestly,
I mean,
you could almost start and flex them.
Yeah, I was about to say, I bet some people definitely played Jamal Williams. They're pretty happy. You woke up and saw MVS was playing. I guess you played him and you're happy. Other than that,
you guess. I mean, I don't give a crap how many times they catch the ball. He wants to catch the ball 2 times for 133 yards and add a touchdown on top of that. Yeah, the man can start on my team.
Yep.
I don't give a crap if you get targeted only 3 times.
And then Aaron Rodgers won you your week, essentially.
Pretty much. All right, on to the next game, Rams at Falcons. Are the Rams back, or do they just play a really crappy team?
No, they played the Falcons. I don't think they're that far away from like.
They're not.
From like they're not in a panic mode, so I think teams have tough games and they have bad games. And this is a get back on track game when you play the Falcons.
It looked
and
good.
hopefully they get back on track. That's it's like playing like Liberty in college.
Yeah. Gurley had to save his day with a touchdown. Only played on 61% of the snaps.
They just didn't give him the ball as much.
I mean, he had 8
the whole game, and
he's still hurt too.
Yeah.
Because there were rumors he wasn't going to play this game. So he's back. He went back down to his like 65-35 snap percentage numbers instead of where he was
And
creeping
they
up into
probably
90.
playing that, they're playing the Falcons too. But yeah, his touchdown was nice. I don't know if you saw the 13-yard catch. It was a nice
It was
catch.
a good one. Yeah, I did see that one.
Nice catch for a touchdown.
Yeah, Julio had a decent day in this one.
Thank
6 catches on
God.
93 yards.
Oh, you
On
didn't
9
want to
targets.
talk. You didn't want to talk about,
Did
clear.
Hooper
Yeah,
play well?
Hooper.
I didn't see
Yeah,
his net.
still played well. I'm
I didn't
gonna
see
look up his
his
stats because I didn't have it up on my computer at the second. But I'm
Anyways,
looking it up
we
right
had
now.
we did have an ejection this game. Devonta Freeman got
Oh, yeah, he did.
ejected after Aaron Donald just like ragdolled him.
He had 14.6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not bad.
four
That's good.
4 receptions for 46 yards. So you're
Oh, and a
and a
touchdown.
touchdown.
Another
Yeah, and
touchdown for Austin Hooper.
the only touchdown for the freaking Falcons. But unfortunately, Matt Ryan is hurt. We should have
And it
talked
was
about his injury.
huge garbage time, by the way, Brady. Huge garbage time touchdown.
Oh yeah,
With like 2 minutes left in the game. It was so bad.
Matt Ryan got hurt.
Yeah, he'll be
he-
fine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
well, he's not.
And
gonna
not
mi-
like yeah.
Like it looks like he's about to play, which is crazy because he sprained his ankle, and they don't need him to play because they're bad, and they're playing Seattle, who could
It's
hurt him again,
good.
and they're on week 9. They have a bye, so they shouldn't play him. In my opinion, he should not be playing. But
They should
I
start Matt
guess
Schaub.
just not start Matt Ryan. I'll never say they should start Matt Schaub.
Can you
Those
believe
words.
he's still in the league? Because he's still actually in the league. I'm pretty sure he backed up like.
I think
He
I
backed up
agree
Michael
with you
Vick.
there, Brady.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure he
No,
backed
he-
up Mike Vick in 04. Like,
He
I'm not even kidding.
100%. No, he 100% did. I played enough Madden to know who Mike
Yeah.
Vick's backup was.
He was a
Yeah.
cheat code in Madden 04, man. He's
Yeah,
like
to
Lamar
help out.
Jackson now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You see Larry in the chat. He's right. Nolan Ryan had a fantastic game in that one. The Rams versus the Falcons, right there. So many.
Let's just
fantasy
wait for
points.
it. He'll mention the Red Wings here soon. That's the only other team he
Yeah, the
knows.
Detroit Red Wings. Yeah,
Detroit
they won
Red
the Stanley
Wings.
Cup.
Yeah, in 07, 08? One of those
Something
years.
like that.
10 years plus years ago. Anyways, on to the next game. This will be a quick one. Raiders and Redskins. It was a real sloppy game.
Crazy
Rain
weather out
everywhere. Yeah, me and
And
Brendan
you know
live
what's
in
funny?
Virginia.
I was
so
watching the game. We're like right here, and I was watching the game, and I was like, man, it's crazy weather there. And I was like, oh wait, that's the
It's
same
here.
weather
that's
outside.
here. Yeah, I was like, just look outside. It was real bad. 9 points total in this game.
Oh god. I was with
Uh,
Brian at the game, and he had somebody on the Niners. He's like, "Why is that game 9-0? What's
Dude, it
going
was
on?"
just-
we didn't
it
know
was-
because we didn't see it.
Yeah, it was just bad. It was just straight up like, it was just the weather played the
Oh, yeah.
whole.
It looked like the
portion of
players
that
had
game.
fun though.
Yeah,
It looked
yeah.
like they were having fun in the rain.
You couldn't run your normal offense. That was
No.
That was bad. If you started one of your San Francisco players, I'm sorry.
You started a wide receiver in that game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I sat Terry McLaurin when I woke up that morning knowing it was pouring down. rain.
the sliding the defensive lineman who was sliding
He like
and he
spread
missed
eagles.
the tackle. Well, he missed the tackle, but because the quarterback was still running that way, he kind of looked up and realized he's still sliding towards the quarterback and was swatting at his ankles. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, it was
It was
it was a messy game. But let's get to a better game: Texans and Colts. The Texans
was
could
pretty
stop Mac, but
Ah,
percent
yeah.
as I predicted.
Oh, what do you mean they couldn't stop? Get out of here. The Texans freaking should have. It should have been a tie game. It should have gone
Really?
to overtime. The Texans lost by
Oh, yeah,
one
they got screwed on
touchdown.
a touchdown.
And imagine if they had that touchdown. Oh wait, because the ref decided to blow the whistle while Deshaun Watson is still on his feet and moving,
Oh,
and call the
no.
play
It
dead
was bad.
as he throws it to Hopkins for a touchdown.
No
Yeah, it was
way.
pretty bad.
It was bad.
They did stop Mac.
They
They
did
It
stop
happened.
Mac.
basically
It happened. It happened. Oh, we knew they were gonna stop Mac. What we said last week?
Mhm.
The Texans have had one of the better rushing defenses in the league, and they averaged like 88 yards was the most they averaged every week out of running backs. I mean, that's
That's pretty good.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And-
13th against the run and 23rd against against quarterbacks to be exact.
But I mean, Brissett put up pretty decent numbers. Well,
Yeah, he's
326
good,
and 4 touchdowns.
He's a good
He is a
freaking
good quarterback.
quarterback. It is insane.
Goodness. Oh, and then Ebron had his nutty catch too.
That's right. He did have a fantastic catch. So they didn't call a touchdown at first. They went back.
They
and
did
called
not.
it.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
is
they didn't
Eric
call it a
Ebron a
touchdown.
streamable tight end this week?
Who they playing?
Denver.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside
Sure.
of he is streamable. Yes, it depends on who they're playing. If you
It's
are
Denver.
going to stream him, yeah, he's still good.
I mean, he's currently tight end 17. He had his highest target number last week, but his snap percentage hasn't gone over 50% except for one time. That was in week 3 against Atlanta. So it
You'd
looks
have
like
to-
the Doyler is doing a little bit better.
Baby hands.
Little baby hands.
Hey,
baby
we'll
hands.
talk about the Texans receivers. Hopkins, I said he was gonna have a big week this week. This week we're gonna see it, and he did. What 9 for 106, a touchdown. He had 12 targets. I mean, technically he should have had 2 touchdowns. It would give him like what 25.6 fantasy points.
Yeah, he would have been at 31.
Yeah, imagine. Like we said, I was like, this is the
Mark
week.
wouldn't have
You're
won
gonna
by
see Hopkins.
1.8 points this week if that were the case.
My streamable player of the week I want to talk about though is up next for the Texans, and that is Kenny Stills.
He's a good play this week too.
I needed to play a wide receiver this week, and like someone in my flex spot, and I was like, I don't know who to play. I have Kenny Stills, I have Keyshawn Johnson, I had technically Chase Edmonds, but that whole DJ situation I'm not even gonna get into. And I was like, who am I playing? And I was like, I guess I'm playing Kenny Stills this week, baby. Coming back off the hammy injury. I was like, let's see what happens. 4 for 105. I'll take that. 14 and a half
Yes,
points
sir.
all
Yeah.
day.
Why do you have to do that, Brady?
What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh. Yes,
I
sir.
can't not.
And then Kiki
And
had
then
11.9 points.
He did.
With, 3
With the
targets.
rushing touchdown, I forgot about that.
Where'd he go to school? A&M? He went to A&M,
Yeah.
right?
And then he gets hurt.
I'm gonna hurt you physically next time I see you.
Wah, wah.
I'm sick of Melvin Gordon. Me too. And Juju. I'm also sick of them.
I also have Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Philip Lindsay, T.Y. Hilton, and DJ Chark. So I traded Juju and Melvin for Julio Jones.
Oh
Good
my God!
You got an absolute steal out of that trade. If
Are
that's
you
actually
winning?
Yeah, you should be winning the league. Josh Jacobs.
That's
Christian
a great
McCaffrey.
trade for you, my guy.
Those are
Melvin
Philip
Gordon
Lindsay.
and
Those are
Juju.
3 fantastic.
He's got Jacobs, McCaffrey. He's got T.Y.
T.Y.,
Chark, and
Chark,
Julio. Yeah,
and
your
Julio
team's
now.
monstrous.
Yeah, I'm just saying you should really go for Austin Hooper though. On that.
I'm
tight
curious.
end
You have the
position.
Patriots defense too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably do.
You sound like a man who has the Patriots defense.
Is that Windsor? I'm pretty sure that's Windsor.
Sergeant Wetbelly? I don't think so.
Nah, that's not Windsor. That's,
What a name.
Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the questions. That's a great trade. Great trade. I didn't read the ending of it until. Oh Jesus! Yeah, you got
You
away with.
sound like a man who has the Patriots defense.
He probably does. I'm telling you. All right, let's get to the
Well-
next game. Vikings and Lions. Another big kind of fantasy day for.
Why are we
another-
glossing?
Oh,
Hold on. We're
we-
glossing over Pascal on the Colts. That guy went insane.
All right, I wouldn't say insane. He had
He did
6
pretty well.
catches. Let me pull up his. The reason why I say he went insane, his snap percentage is what scares me. Granted, his targets, he had 7 targets, 6 catches for 106 and 2
it's only
touchdowns.
47.
Great, 47%.
Yeah, it's still gonna be.
It
T.Y.
scares
Hilton.
me. It scares
But-
me
Yeah, but
in
if you
long
see-
term.
But if the Colts are playing a good matchup where they know that's going to be a lot of, you're going to see Brissett throw the ball a lot, which he
Well, it
does in
looks like-
general. But like if it's a good matchup, you could definitely
Looks like
definitely stream
Pascal's
him that
a
week
wide
and-
receiver too.
expecting a lot out of it.
I
so.
would think the other thing you would think a game like this would really solidify his wide receiver 2 position.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So going forward, it could be well.
Going forward, it could change, but that 47% scares me long term. If it changes this week, my opinion will definitely change. Also, Brady, he also has Terry McLaurin,
Yeah, I saw that.
which is like having the Patriots defense. That's great. But Hyde and Duke Johnson were irrelevant as
hmm
as we guessed. Watson had a subpar day. Should have had 2 touchdowns, but did throw
I mean,
2.
subpar.
He had
mean,
300
only-
yards.
It's still
Okay,
300
it's
yards
subpar-
and a
it's
touchdown. He
subpar-
should have had
it's-
2 touchdowns. He did have his
it is-
interception.
I didn't write
It's
that.
subpar.
so-
15 and a half points for Deshaun Watson is subpar.
That's
No,
true,
you're right.
because-
But it's just like you look at the numbers and you're like, that's not subpar numbers. It's just
Yeah, the 2
fantasy
picks.
relevant wise. Yes.
Then the 2
subpar.
picks didn't help.
But let's move on to the Vikings and Lions.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the
The
Vikings.
Marvin Joneses. And,
The Vikings
Lions.
versus the Marvin Jones. Yeah. As again, another prediction. People were talking about Kenny G, and I was like, "What about Marvin Jones? The guy had 4 touchdowns, but he didn't go under 100 yards, Brady. He didn't go over 100 yards, but had 4 touchdowns.
Don't need to when you get touchdowns.
I didn't start Marvin Jones in 3 leagues.
And now you are.
Some of them, not all.
Marvin Jones could
you're
have gone
chasing
for
points.
4 catches, for 4 yards and 4 touchdowns, and I would have been happy. So
You're chasing points with this blow up big game. But it's nice to know this is Marvin Jones. It's always in his possibility because he's a good receiver. Matt Stafford can playing it a little bit. He's typically the deep threat, but it wasn't deep balls that got him to this point. But this is possible, but it's not going to happen every week, and you will be
No.
chasing these points.
yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you see his numbers next week and you're gonna not see anything close to what happened this week.
He goes
obviously.
back to 3 catches for 30 yards.
Exactly.
I don't know. I could see it continuing with Kerryon out. Are they going to really rely on Ty Johnson and J.D. McKissick?
It could.
I'm not saying he's
It's
going to have
just-
4 touchdowns, but I mean, he still had 13 targets. It's
But
not like he had 4 catches for
agree.
4 yards.
Yeah,
I
but
agree, but
okay.
Yeah.
The game before this, he had 5 targets. Then the game before that, 5 targets. Then the one game he did really well before this one, he had 9. Then 6. Then 4. So like 13 was a lot for him. It could continue, and they're playing the Giants.
They're
It
so
playing
seemed
the
like he really
Giants.
just had the
he
matchup.
has a good matchup.
He's got a good matchup the next 2 weeks. He's got the Giants and he's got Oakland.
He has matchups, but you're still going to be chasing a little bit. Wow.
Sergeant Wetbelly, I have another question for you. How many teams are in your league? If you could let us know, I would love to
Yeah.
know.
I
Looking at
wonder if
that
it's
roster,
8.
it should be like 2.
It might
Bro,
be
what if
8.
he's like, yo, 16?
If he says anything over 8, I'll be absolutely shocked.
I could see 10, but probably 8.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, Thielen left early. What we talked about earlier with the caught his touchdown. Was it 2 catches? You said 30-something yards, whatever. Caught a touchdown. You got the 9
Yay.
points out of him. Yay, good for you. He went out with a touchdown. Good for him. Dalvin Cook, another big game. 25, 142, 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook's
Yay.
being Dalvin Cook, gonna have another big one this week.
Yeah.
Diggs had another good game, back to back, 7 catches, 142 yards. Especially after, like we talked about, how slow of a start he was having to the season. Christian Kirk, top 10 quarterback. It's kind of funny, he
Nope.
plays really well. I guess after your wide receiver throws the punch in the face, you start throwing the ball really well. So, I guess we can roll for
I
that.
still don't think he's a top 10 quarterback.
No, I don't either.
Diggs should have another good
But
week
he's doing
this
really
week
well.
by himself, essentially.
I mean, the guy's thrown 10 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. No
And
interceptions.
if you need a tight end this week, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
Good, because they're the Thursday night game. He's a
Mhm.
pretty
Yep.
good option, especially.
Yeah,
with
they're
Julio.
playing Washington, so.
Yeah.
Very good option.
Yup.
And then the Lions are. So it's Ty Johnson for now, and then McKissick is the pass catching back, I guess.
I would say so.
But McKissick has also outsnapped Ty Johnson before, and like run the ball too. So I don't know. It might be 50-50 too, or it might just be the hot hand.
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of the hot hand.
Be interesting to see. Before we go on any longer, make sure you guys are asking questions in the chat. I know we've already had one, but if you guys want to keep them coming, we will answer them on the show. Next game, Jaguars and Bengals. Leonard Fournette,
One Punch Man.
29 carries.
I love
They
Leonard
just
Fournette.
feed the ball to Leonard Fournette. Had 131 yards rushing and no touchdowns. He only had 1 touchdown in the season, but is still running back 7. Gardner Minshew, 255 and a touchdown. Looked pretty good. He also did get a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
Yeah, great matchup. I mean, D.D. Westbrook 6 for 103 on 9 targets. Looked good. I mean, he really spread the ball around. I mean, Conley had 3 for 83 and Chark only had 3 for 53. But
Every week, dude, DD's starting to get more and more involved.
I know. It's starting to flip.
Every single week, you're seeing more and more out of DD.
But it's nice to see
His
that.
target share is going up. It's so funny. His snap percentage is going down, but his target share is going way up. It's crazy. Yeah, his snap percentage goes from like 80s down to like the 60s and 70s over like half the season. But his targets went from average of like 6 and up to average of like 9 right now.
Wow.
Interesting. I mean, we did see another kind of regression game from Chark. like we talked about. He was a, he was
Yeah.
a top 5 receiver last week overall in the season, and we didn't think that would last. I
No,
feel
but
like he could have a big game every now and then, but I don't
yeah,
see him finishing in the top 12.
probably not. But I mean, top 17, 18 probably. Yeah, he could still finish there. Because I mean, the start of his season was so good, and he's still being used. And it might just kind of be whoever's open that week. Because some teams guard the way they play defense. Sometimes it'll be Westbrook. Some days it'll be Conley. I know he had a big catch and run, and I think you'll have a few shark games as well.
Bengals suck.
Thank you for just reading that.
Who is
Yeah.
Joe Mixon?
Yeah, is he even startable?
I don't think so.
Honestly, dude, if you had
I-
anybody getting you more points per week than him, I would just be playing them. Like
he scored and he got 7.4.
it's so bad. It is
Yeah.
so bad. It blows my mind how talented that kid is and how little he's being used. It blows
can't
my
use him.
mind.
I think
It's awful.
the only weapon in that offense, and it's not Erickson. I know you have him listed here, Brady, but it's not.
Well, yeah, but
Erickson.
what the heck was that?
Yeah, he had 14 targets.
Oh yeah.
8 catches for
You see,
137.
If you're gonna see 21 points out of a Bengals player, you're like, what?
Yeah, the only one I would recommend is Boyd. He's still the only startable player.
No, on Tate is.
Tate's startable, but Boyd's getting the. He's had double-digit targets in 5 of the 7 games so far this year.
I know, it's insane.
He had 14 targets, but he had 5 catches.
Tate's
How
flex
overthrown is he?
Yeah, right. Tate's a flex play just because he's consistently kind of been at like 5 catches for 50 plus yards. So you'll be happy with that, and then you just kind of play man. I hope one of those are in the end zone. But yeah, he's still flexible. Tyler Boyd's target machine on a bad team.
All right, so we have a lineup question coming from Sergeant Wetbelly. His quarterback is Josh Allen. His tight end is Evan Ingram. So far, so good. CMC, Josh Jacobs in the running back spots. Julio and Ty in his 2 wide receivers, and he wants to do Chark in the flex and put Lindsey and McLaurin on the bench. See, I would put McLaurin in your wide receiver spot and Ty or Julio in your flex, because we saw what Marvin Jones did to the Vikings pass defense, and McLaurin's good at football.
Who's Jacksonville play? I should know this.
Jacksonville?
The Jets.
They played the Jets.
Oh.
See, I'm picking McLaurin out of those 3
I
to
think.
put in your
Yeah, I
lineup.
think I
Who
do.
played the
I would do
Vikings? You
McLaurin.
said again? Who played the Vikings?
The Marvin Joneses.
Oh
Marvin
yeah, the
Joneses.
Marvin Joneses. Yeah, well, except the Lions are like an infinitely better team than the Redskins. So, I mean,
But Terry McLaurin's good at football. We've already established that on this.
yeah, I mean, he can be good at football. Doesn't mean anybody else in their team is good at football.
I'd still do Terry. I do F1. I'd do Terry.
But make sure you put if you take our advice and do that, I would put McLaurin in your wide receiver spot because it's a Thursday game. Just in case something happens in practice with Julio or Ty, and Ty or Julio in your flex.
Yeah, just in case one of them gets hurt.
All right. On to the next game, Cardinals Giants, battle of the rookie quarterbacks.
Battle of the rookie running backs.
None of those running backs are rookies.
They are second years.
I mean,
Chase Edmonds is second year and Saquon's second year.
Still in the rookie contract.
Very funny stat Brennan told me at dinner. Chase Edmonds has more fantasy points than David Montgomery this season.
It's hilarious.
That is absolutely hilarious.
By like 20. I want you to know that.
Chase Edmonds was running back 1 this week.
I know.
Chase Edmonds has a total.
Have you guys seen Matthew Berry's rant on?
Oh, it's
the
hilarious.
Cardinals?
If you haven't,
it's
it's
so
hilarious.
funny.
I actually haven't seen it. I need to see it.
There's some from the fantasy world. There's a bit of mixed reviews and being mad on it or not being mad. And I think I'm with Matthew Berry, in my opinion, but it's really funny.
I'm completely with Matthew Berry, and I'm a DJ owner. But anyways, David Montgomery has 52.6 fantasy points on the year. Chase Edmonds has 78.7 on the year.
35 of them came last.
I do want to talk about it like a little bit as well. I mean, I also had Chase Edmonds in my starting spot going into the game.
Wait, what? Starting spot?
Yes, over DJ. DJ was not supposed. Like, it was like very clear that DJ
Oh, okay.
probably wasn't gonna play. They came out and said, DJ's active. He's gonna play.
Oh,
So,
okay.
being, like most of my week I had Edmonds in there, and so seeing that, I said, DJ's gonna play. He was active in practice. He played in practice on like Friday. They talked about it. They said that he was, we knew he was still the potential. Obviously he might not be 100%,
But he wasn't
but
last week.
but he
and
wasn't last week either. And look
went
how he
off.
produced. They both produced pretty well. So we were like, I was like, Jay's gonna start this week. So I played DJ, and then you fucking watch him run. Sorry, you watch him run 2 plays.
I think
and
this is
then
the first
go
time we've
out.
done that in a while.
You watch him run 2 plays and go out, and then you're sitting there and you're like,
What?
okay. You're thinking he's hurt. You're like waiting for the update. I'm like, what happened to David Johnson? Like, where's my update? Like, did he get hurt or something like that? And then all of a sudden it's just the Chase Edmonds show, and you're like, what? And then afterwards they're like, oh yeah, he was only gonna play in an emergency situation. Like, get the out of here. Are you kidding me?
This is coming from the David Johnson owner, so please, please take that into
And they're like,
effect.
and they're all like, oh yeah, we're doing it to keep the game competitive. We don't want our opponent to know you're the freaking Arizona Cardinals. You're not competitive in jack crap.
They have won 3 in a row. They're 3-3-1 this season.
Okay, well they just beat the Giants. Let's pump the brake. And
Yeah,
the
they haven't-
Falcons.
I was like,
They
are
haven't had
you
the
freaking
hardest
kidding me?
schedule.
They're like, oh, be happy with the win. And I'm with freaking Matthew Berry here. The only people anybody even know who the Arizona Cardinals players are is because of fantasy.
I know. There's so many small names.
It is because of fantasy.
Mm,
You played Cincinnati, you played Atlanta, and you played the Giants. Congratulations, you won 3 games in a row.
This was the
Now you have to
nobody.
play New Orleans, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, back to San Francisco. Good luck.
And that was Brennan's weekly rant. Well, that's good. We might start that as a thing. Which game is Brennan going to rant about this week? All right, let's get on to the next game. That game was pretty unpredictable, but the big game was
stupid,
Chase Edmonds with 35 points, RB1.
And Tommy's in the chat laughing because he doesn't have DJ anymore, so he doesn't worry about it. But he's too busy stuck with the Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. So
dude, he's stuck with a
there,
lot
bud.
of bad stuff. He's got some bad juju on his team. All right, Dolphins and Bills. This is one of those games that
Please
start
read
off
it.
super slow.
Yeah,
It was straight vomit.
I love
That's
it.
the first. Brady wrote up on this one, and their first note is vomit, and it's not the last time you'll hear that about this game. Devontae Parker and Press Williams looked good with. I don't even know what this says. What does that
It's
say?
magic.
Why is it
It's
spelt like that? Why is it spelled
Oh,
like
there's-
he's Croatian? Why is
Yeah,
there a
what's with the
J?
J?
I don't know.
What?
I think I went crazy.
Fitzmagic was spelled like with a J instead of a G.
Okay, it was one letter off.
It
Jeez.
It just looked
Chill.
wrong.
Yeah, Alec is one to talk about.
Oh
this.
no,
Yeah,
I've
right.
never
Okay.
claimed to be the best speller. I'm not the best speller. But come on.
Anyway, keep going. I want you to read
Anyways, look good. They look good with Fitzmagic. 5 for 55 for Parker and 8 for 82 or 6 for 82 on 8 targets and a
it.
fumble.
Parker scored.
Parker did score a touchdown, and for Williams had 82 yards on 8 targets with a fumble. Vomit. Mark Waltenberger, as some people call him.
Walton Burger.
That's probably one of my favorite ones that they do. Is the new RB1 in Miami?
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
looks.
if
'cause
Drake's
they're just gonna
traded,
trade. They're gonna trade Drake. Well, Walton took the spot this week too. It's not like
Yeah.
Drake got hurt.
Yeah, it showed.
Yep.
They pretty much played their hand right there.
And then Kalen Balaj was the goal line American sniper back now. Vomit. The Bills were losing in this game at one point, which was a lot of people.
How would you describe it?
Vomit.
Okay, we're done with the vomits.
Yeah, that was the last vomit you'll hear from this game, at least. There's got to
This
be
is
one
the
more down here.
Dolphins, bro.
It's the Dolphins, as Brennan always says. But John Brown, and Beasley continue to be solid PPR starts. Brown
That's
a
correct.
solid wide receiver 2. Beasley a solid flex option. I think they're both. Yeah, I agree with that. They're both great options. Put anywhere in your lineup, really.
Allen's stats were so weird for QB7.
Yeah, he finished at QB7,
So
and it was so
weird.
strange. I wish it
I was
wasn't
like-
QB7. I wish it was like QB8, and then I would have won this week.
I looked at it and I was like,
I wish
I
you'd
was like-
quit complaining about it. Just
I
move
saw it and
on.
I'm like, did Allen finish as a top quarterback? And it's like quarterback 7. I'm like, 202 passing yards. But he threw 2 touchdowns and he ran the ball a little bit, and he got a 2-point conversion. I think that kind of bumped him up. But yeah,
That 2-point conversion screwed me. Anyways,
Yeah.
Chargers
Oh
and
my
Titans. The Chargers should have won this game.
Yes.
I saw the highlights and I was dying
Dude.
laughing.
I want you to know I lost my fantasy pick'ems by 2 games,
Oh my
and
god! Is this
I
one of them?
had the Chargers winning this game.
Uh-huh.
Nobody else did.
Oh my god!
And I had the Texans beating the Colts, which like almost nobody else did as well.
And you got screwed twice.
Yep. It was I mean, not saying that the Texans would have beat them in overtime, but like there was a good shot. They were playing well, so
The glumble from Gordon.
yeah, right.
Goal line fumble from Melvin Gordon cost them the game. Is Eckler better than Gordon?
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah.
Right. Gordon's not good.
No, Eckler had 5 carries for 7 yards, but you don't really write home about his rushing stats. It's all about his receiving.
They're 2 different types of running backs.
They
I
are
don't know
two
if you can sit here
completely
and say
different.
that one is that much better than the other.
But
Eckler
Eckler needs to
this
touch the
year
ball
is
more.
showing, he's showing he's definitely the better running back this year.
I
just
think
in
Eckler's
general, off of
better
the
in the
games
open
he's played.
field.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
think Gordon is so out of his mindset of even wanting to play for the Chargers. At this point, he's playing to play. He wants to get traded. He wants to go somewhere else, and I feel like his mindset's going to turn completely around when he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the hope.
You're going to see a completely different Melvin Gordon whenever he goes somewhere that he is actually excited and to be at and
Getting
play
paid
for.
to play for.
Yeah.
Allen had a big target week. He only had 4 catches.
On 11 targets.
But the targets are there, so that's good to see. Long term, I guess. Hunter Henry had another good game, 6 for 97, 8 targets.
Yeah, he's an everyday tight end start.
Yeah, he's a start every week player. Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, wait. Is this something we talked about this past week, Alec? We said, hey, let's wait it out a week and see if Ryan Tannehill can make the undraftable Corey Davis to the draftable Corey Davis.
Yes!
Oh, wait. What's
And he did.
happening? Crazy.
Corey Davis, 6
The
for
wide
80 and a touchdown
receivers.
on 7 targets.
They're doing good.
Not only that, AJ Brown was used all over the field instead of
Yeah.
just in like certain areas. And AJ Brown is
It's
one of my favorite
crazy.
rookie wide receivers going into the end of the season, because we talked
yeah.
about it a little bit, how rookie receivers end up like the latter half they start making bigger strides. I love AJ Brown, and I was so glad Tannehill actually looked good.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm saying it. It's literally Mariota was just so horrible for their system of offense,
Yeah,
and it showed. It so showed, and
so
thank
glad.
God they finally moved on.
because Corey Davis is talented too. I think.
Yeah,
Well, at
He's
least
he's
a
a
on
top
offense.
5
talented
receiver. He's a
receiver.
top 5 overall receiver.
But with Mariota, it's just like you
And
can't expect anything out of it.
I'm so sad because I
Gross.
loved Mariota in college.
Mm-hmm. I actually have a
wonder-
scenario for
Oregon
you,
sucks.
Brady. In just a second, I'll get into it.
Boo.
But my star of the week, Derrick Henry, had a very solid day. I don't, for some reason, don't have his stats
Hoop hair,
pulled up.
the big
They're right
turd.
there. Henry
Yeah, they're
was
right there. What the heck are you
22
talking
rushing,
about?
Wow.
22 attempts for 90 yards and a touchdown with 1 catch for 18 yards on 1 target.
There they are. Yep.
I wrote he is Leonard Fournette who doesn't catch
See,
the
that's
ball.
what threw me off. I saw the Fournette. I'm like, what is this? This doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
No, but no, he's essentially Leonard Fournette that
without-
doesn't catch the ball.
Yeah. I mean, Leonard Fournette only had 2 catches this week compared
Well,
to his 1.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Fournette typically has like
Yeah, he has
4
more
or
targets.
5.
He has
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 targets.
To answer the question in the chat, Sergeant Wetbelly, we're basing Gordon not off of his plays this year. We're basing Gordon off of his past years and how he's been a running back over the last couple years.
Yeah, he's been
Not
great.
over what's been happening this year. We know Gordon is sucking this year. We're going off of what we think is probably up to like we said, was the way his emotional standpoint in the game right now is not high. He doesn't want to be there. His morale is low. And we're thinking that that's kind of having an effect on how he's playing. Now, that may not be true when he goes somewhere else. He might just be, he's done. But, I think that that's not the case.
No,
I'm sure other people agree as well.
Yeah, I agree. Brady, I have a scenario for you. I saw another article that barring injury or due to injury to Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs were inquiring about Marcus Mariota.
Please
That's-
don't.
That's
please don't.
that's not awful because it's
Please
just
don't.
a spot fill.
No, please don't.
It really isn't bad.
Please
It's
don't.
not that
Please,
bad.
please don't.
It's not that
For
bad.
the love of God.
All right.
Please
Let's get on to the
don't.
next game. Another quick one. Ravens Seahawks. We thought this was going to be a pretty big offensive game, and it turned into a.
Well, it was for my player.
Oh, it was for Lamar Jackson.
I actually forgot to write about the Seahawks.
He was. Yeah, it's fine. The Seahawks
Well, you
didn't
didn't
really
miss
do
much.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson had like his
Russell
worst
Wilson
game of
had
the
his
year.
worst game of the year. Tyler Lockett had a touchdown. But the
DK
Ravens
Metcalf
defense
did okay.
Yeah, the Ravens defense scored twice, and so all of the
Played well,
Ravens
man.
players were below 10 fantasy points outside of Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
which is really annoying.
Oh, you mean my sit of the week? Mark Andrews dropped the ball like what?
Dude,
3
that guy
times
couldn't catch a
this
cold
past
in that game.
week?
God,
It's crazy.
two-
It
how
was
I took
so bad.
2
Crazy.
receptions on 8 targets. No way.
Yeah, it was
Best set of the
so
week, man.
bad. We
My
were
fantasy
watching the
league are looking
game.
good.
Me and Brandon were watching the game. We saw him drop. Like, no one was in like 15 yards of this guy, and he just like lets it fall.
We were
It's
like,
his
what?
hand, and he
then
lets
Lamar
it fall.
Jackson basically just said, "Hey, Mark Ingram, I'm the running back. I'll run up the middle for a touchdown."
I am the
not
running
you."
back now. That's what Lamar Jackson said.
So Chris Carson had 21 carries, which is awesome, and he's still involved in the passing game.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great running day, but it's the Ravens defense.
They played well.
Penny was active and didn't touch the field.
Interesting.
Was it
what was
another
the
DJ?
what was the snap percentage on Carson?
Uh,
I don't even know.
89.
Okay, so that's a pro
Most
size probably
was
got a couple.
I think Penny was in he had 3% snap percentage, but he didn't do anything.
So he was in for like 2 snaps.
Ugh.
Yeah, rough game for Seahawks players, but if you had Tyler Lockett and Chris Carson, you did
You're
fine.
okay.
All right, Saints Bears. Brady, you were at this game physically.
I was. I have a lot to say about this game that I
All
won't
right.
say. It's okay.
Well,
The only thing that the fantasy relevance of this game, I won't say the other nonsense that is how the Bears should play. Just, ugh. The only fantasy relevant player for the Bears is Allen Robinson. He has I think his target share actually went up in this game, and it was almost 30%.
That's insane. Yeah, Allen Robinson's gone up in my book as well.
Yeah, and he's passes by. So Allen Robinson's like a huge trade for target because he's passes by. He's hyper targeted. The Saints are really, really, really good at football. And Michael Thomas is the most consistent receiver in the league for fantasy. I don't think he's ever finished outside the top 10. Maybe once he's finished outside the top 10, so he's wide receiver 1. And the other little nugget of information is the Bears started 3-3 last year. They finished 12-4.
Yeah,
so.
well, too bad they're going to finish 7-9 this year. Also, he has never finished outside the top 10.
He hasn't
in PPR leagues
That's
or
crazy.
standard leagues.
That is crazy.
The guy's insane. I saw a stat Field Yates tweeted out, and I wanted to read it on the show because I thought it was absolutely insane.
Do I know it?
Oh, there's 2. It was about Michael Thomas. Where'd it go? Maybe it's on my personal Twitter. You guys don't need to follow that. No one needs to follow that.
Yeah. Nobody needs to follow that. You were right.
Where is it? Where is it?
Was it one with John Brown?
No, where'd it go? It's not on here.
Oh,
Anyways, the other stat that I had on here was about the
Should be more
Patriots
organized.
defense. I should. You're right. It's about the
It was
Patriots
the
defense.
Yeah.
I hate the Patriots defense.
So the
the
Patriots
Patriots defense is so good.
The
They're
Patriots
playing-
defense now has
Yeah.
144 points in fantasy football. That puts them at quarterback 6,
I love this.
running back 4, wide
God.
receiver 3, and tight end 1 on the season.
That's insane.
Dude, that's like that's
When
what
you
happens
play
when you play the
against
teams
the
of the
teams
deaf and
against-
blind.
yeah, the
Like, what do you
teams of the
expect?
deaf and blind.
Granted, there's still NFL teams.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're like the bottom of the barrel ones. Like the bad ones.
Their
Find it.
schedule is such a joke, and it makes me like.
Where are the
oh.
Patriots players? Who has Patriots players?
I have a lot of Patriots players.
Why?
I have their running backs.
I know.
It's got like their whole team.
They've played Pittsburgh, and they looked terrible. Miami, Jets without Sam Darnold once. Buffalo, their best matchup. And they couldn't score against Buffalo, but Buffalo couldn't score against them because their offense is not that great. Washington, Giants, Jets again.
This is Brady vomiting all over his keyboard.
Of
So
course their
bad.
defense is that good.
Anyways, the
Okay,
stat
their
that I
defense
found,
is
Brady.
good. Their defense is good, but they're playing against really bad offenses. So it's like hyper inflated.
Like double XP.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like double XP weekend Sunday for
Bro,
every.
Call of Duty's coming out. I'm excited. Like, let's go.
This is a Call of Duty stream now?
Yep.
Call of Duty and football stream.
Anyways, the
Dude,
stat
imagine.
that I was looking for was about Michael Thomas, and it was about how he's very consistent. He has like 50 plus. It's either catches or targets.
Yards.
It's-
No, there's only 2 players who have 50 yards in every game
No,
they've
I
played
saw
this
that
season.
one. It
Okay.
wasn't Field Yates. I found it somewhere else, but it wasn't Field Yates, unfortunately. Anyways, let's start with the next game. Eagles at Cowboys. Brennan, what's your
Woo!
take on this one since you are
Cowboys.
the Cowboys guy here?
3-0 in the division. The
Oh.
Eagles suck. They meet again in week 16.
So does the division.
Yeah, they also
Well,
suck.
no, the Eagles are okay.
Eagles are okay. The Giants and the Redskins are
Bleh.
garbage. Yeah.
Man, we're vomiting all over this show today.
But I will say
I'm hungry,
I was
so
excited
I'm
to see
vomiting.
them win.
Get
I
some
do
mashed
want to talk
potatoes in your system.
about, in my opinion, the best players of the week, which was the Cowboys defense. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and an interception. That's pretty solid out of the boys' defense. And they normally, they're a decent defense, but they played up to their standard this week, so I was happy to see that. Zeke back in his action. He now had 2 back-to-back 26-point games. He had 22 attempts, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, and he was 6 for 36 in the air. Cooper had, the wide receivers for the Cowboys only had a decent game though. Nobody really stood out that much, except for Austin. Well, no, yeah, nobody else really stood out that much. There's a lot of field goals made. I'll get to that in a second. Cooper, he had a decent game, 15.6 points. He was 5 for 106. Dak with another solid week. Once again, still showing that every week consistently he's a solid quarterback stream. 19.56 points this week. Eagles struggled. Wentz only had 7 points. Howard with also about 7 points. Alshon Jeffrey with 5 points. Ertz with the lowest score of the year at 5.8 points. The Eagles struggled everywhere, and it showed. But I do want to talk about, the big main man of the week, Barrett. Barrett Maher with
Yikes.
his 63-yarder.
We've been messing
tied
with the
63-yarder.
You guys can't see it, but we're messing with what he's reading, and we we bolded, made it 30-point font, just triple threat. So that's why he did that. That was really funny. I'm sorry.
Barrett triple threat, dude, 63 yards.
That was
he
insane.
broke something too.
No, it
with
was tied for the NFL record.
Yeah, tied for the NFL record.
Longest field.
So what I have to say about the Cowboys going on the rest of the season is it'll be interesting. They're winning their divisional matchups really good, obviously.
Yeah, that's gonna help a lot.
And it's crazy. It's like when you look at their losses too, it's like they lose to the Saints. They lose by 2 points to the Saints. They lose by 10 to the Packers. Okay. And they lose by 2 points to the Jets. Granted,
Yeah,
they should have won 2 of 3 of those games. They played like garbage in 2 out of 3 of those games. And it's just like, they could be there if they wanted to be. If they play like they did versus the Eagles in every game, I mean, they're gonna win against the Giants. I'm not worried about that one. But they come in, they play they play the Vikings, they play the Lions, then they play the Patriots, then the Bills, then the Bears, then the Rams. I mean, then back to the Eagles. Like they got a
stretch
tough
of games. 12
exactly.
through 15.
They gotta step it up if they want to win. I mean, they're gonna if they beat the Giants, they're not gonna lose the division. Because then they play the Eagles and the Redskins. They're not gonna lose the division.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
If they can go 2-2 from 12 to 15, I think they'll win I think they'll win the division. But I think they'll be in that.
They gotta beat some tough teams who are doing really well right now, and so they need to find some wins somewhere. So they need in that stretch of 6 games where they're playing non-divisional matchups against some tough teams. They need to pull something out.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see. They are on bye this week, so can't play your Cowboys.
Yeah, can't play your cat. Well, Cooper's what, a top 5 receiver right now? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
playing
still.
well this season.
I believe he's
Crazy.
still in there.
Tavon Austin had the 20-yard touchdown rush this week
I
too.
know. It's
I
not
started
Michael
him.
Tom, and
I started him
Gallup.
in redraft, and he got me the
You
touchdown.
did.
I
That's
did.
insane.
I picked him up
That's
on
funny.
Saturday, and I was like, I need a running back because both of mine were on bye.
That's funny.
But on to the Monday night game, the last game that we'll talk about today, and this game was absolutely
Was it a game?
boring. It was like 33-0.
Imagine sitting in an airport for a few hours trying to watch this game.
Yeah,
That's-
it was
That was a
pretty
live
bad.
looking at Brady on Monday night.
On Monday night.
The Patriots are a playoff team. The Jets are not. Obviously, the Patriots are undefeated. Hopefully, that'll end soon. I'm hoping, week 12, maybe that happens, but who knows?
Oh my god.
The Jets have a bit of an easy schedule coming up, as Brady
No.
is.
Yeah.
Read it.
E-
An easy peasy get you into the fantasy playoff schedule.
schedule.
That is what their schedule is.
Yeah.
And they have talented players like Le'Veon Bell and Robbie Anderson and Jamison Crowder. So some of those guys are going to start winning you weeks and you might be able to get them for very cheap.
Well, I mean, and Sam Darnold's no slouch either. He's got some superpowers. I mean, he messes with the paranormal. He sees ghosts.
He sees ghosts.
As
What
he
the hell
claimed on-
kind of
I don't even know what that
sort of-
means.
what sort of comment is that? You're a starting quarterback in
he's
the NFL.
mic'd up and says that.
Oh, he
Yeah.
said that? Mic'd
he
up?
said he was mic'd up for the game, and he said he was seeing ghosts on the field.
Goodness.
Yeah, your mono was a little more than mono there, but
Yeah,
He got
was-
the mega mono.
Yeah. Jesus, it was a nightmare of a game for the Jets. I went in.
I was hoping the Jets would make it a game because they look so
decent game.
decent
Yeah.
against the Cowboys. And, like, it wasn't just the Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't look like great, but the Jets still looked good. So I was hoping it would be a good game, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Going into the fourth quarter, I needed 2 points.
Oh yeah, 2
And
points.
you know who they played? Everyone not on my team. I had
Oh, you did.
3 players play.
You needed 2 points from Sony Michelle.
James
Either,
White.
not each, just any of these. Sony Michelle, James White, and Philip Dorsett. And
You know
none
who
of them-
played? Damon Harris came in and played the fourth quarter along with Brandon Bolden, who had a catch for 10 yards, which would have won me the game.
That's funny.
mad 'cause bad.
Mad because bad. I'm 5-2. Come on,
Mad 'cause bad, brother.
I'm beating you this week, so
You haven't beat me yet.
I will.
You said you
Have
were
you
gonna beat
seen-
Mark. You also lost Wob. Let's see
Our-
how keep the train going.
Our division, we're in the Thunder division, Alec.
Yeah.
We 5-2, 5-2, 4-3, 4-3, 3-4. That's
If I
our
had
Okay.
won, it would have been great. And,
Okay. Yeah. But then let's take a look at your number 2 player in your division and look at his points for, because it matches our number 4 person.
What in the? How does
points
Brian
for.
keep doing this? He wins games and he can't score points for.
he's got the lowest points against. That's how.
I know. Well, okay, I know that, but it's the same in redraft. I hate Brian.
Brian, you went to Chicago with Brian.
I know. He has 770 points for. He's in 3rd in redraft. I'm at 793, which isn't good either, but I'm 9th. And with more than him.
Yeah, and Tommy wanted to want us to point out that he had over 1,000 points against.
Is
Well,
he
you don't-
really? Oh
You
my
don't
gosh, he
play
does.
yourself, Tommy.
Yeah. Tommy is 0-7 in Dynasty League for you guys. Don't know. I'm
He made a good trade today.
He did. I think it was
I
good
like
for him.
I like that TY trade for him because he's getting a 1st-round pick and a 2nd-round pick. For
Yeah,
him. Solid draft coming up. He's
Even
got
though
my
Brady
first
has
round
his
also.
first-round pick.
That's true.
He
But
has-
he has my 1st-round pick too.
And he
I mean,
has
so he's gonna have,
Jared's, who's
still gonna have-
second to last in the league, or third to last in the league.
he's gonna have 2 1st-round picks and a 2nd-round pick now.
Yeah. He asked me, he's like, I know you were interested in TY. What are you going to offer for him? And I offered
Gallup in the
something.
2nd round.
I offered
Good deal.
Well, yeah.
Same
I-
as
well,
mine.
I offered Singletary and Gallup first. And then but I was like, wait, what's Chris's offered? Because he told me Chris offered him. He's like, 1st and a 2nd. I'm like, probably not going to match that.
No.
No.
I'll let
Chris had a
take him, and
first-round pick to spare, and he used it. He used it wisely.
So do I.
You have 2?
Yeah. I've
Oh.
we just talked about how I have Tommy's.
That's right. I forgot. Well, I forgot you didn't have. You had yours too.
I still have mine, yeah.
Yeah, you still have yours.
Yay.
It's shaking up to be an interesting season.
It is.
I'm currently first, which I did not expect going into the season.
Neither did anybody else.
Nope, no one did. But Michael Thomas is a god.
I've had so many weeks where my team underperforms. Like the weekly review, I keep getting what underperformer below expectation. I think I've gotten that 2 or 3 times in Dynasty.
Well, that says a lot about your personality too.
Yeah.
All right,
Brady,
guys.
yours?
With that being said, make sure you follow us on Twitter at MadmenFF. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, FFMadmen. Like our page on Facebook, and don't forget about our giveaway. Get in on a chance to win a mini football helmet of your choice. Just go to our Twitter, like and retweet there. And you can also still catch us on Spotify. If you guys missed the shows on Wednesday and Saturday, the shows will go up on Spotify right after the show is done. So as soon as we get off the air here, they'll be put up in the next 20 minutes because that's how long it takes me to do it. So, any last minute fantasy notes for the guys before we head out, guys?
My last minute note is I'm hungry and I want to go get food.
All right. We have to feed Brady.
My last note is, weren't you eating at the beginning of the show?
I had peanuts. That's all I had. I need to get real food.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go feed Brady, and we'll see
Yay.
you guys on Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.